Welcome to Moodovation Breathing. My name is Victor Taylor. You can call me X-Man. Hopefully everybody's doing well. When we breathe, we want to use the wind. When there's no wind, there's no waves. This is what the ancients teach. So the wind makes the waves move when you go to the beach. When the waves move, the beach comes to life. So when we wake up in the morning from a stillness and we want to get into our day, we want to activate and invigorate the body, not only so that it has a better feeling when it gets up, but so that it refreshes itself, gets energized, gets alkalined, and gets prepared to be its optimal self right then and there. This is what we breathe for. We wake up, we feel good, it gives us that radiance, and we're ready to go. So, we use two different methods when we wake up. So, with the Wim Hof method, we breathe 30 times or 40 times. Inhale, let it go. Inhale, let it go. Inhale, let it go. Now, when you inhale, you're using the stomach, the chest, and then the head. Let it go. We don't exhale and push out. We actually exhale and just let it go. The good thing about that is it's actually bringing oxygen into the body and bringing that oxygen into the bloodstream so that you can have that energy that you need as the body gets more and more alkaline through the three sets. By the time you get to the end of your breathing and you let it go, then you hold. So you hold your breath, and at that time, you grab your clock on your cell phone and you press start so that you want to know how long you're holding your breath for. So you're holding the breath. When you can no longer hold it, stop on the phone. You hold it for 15 seconds. When you take that inhale, hold it for 15 seconds. And you press it up against the top of your mouth, the head and the neck area. Pressure. You hold that for 15 seconds and then you let it go. And then you go into your next set. This is real simple, real general, real basic. You get to that last breath again, the 30th breath, if you're doing sets of 30, and you hold your breath after that exhale. Hit the phone. Once you can't hold it, you inhale, pressure, and you hold it for 15 seconds. And then you let it go. And then you do your final set. Once that's done, you have a great euphoric feeling. A lot of times you get high on your own supply, meaning you get a little bit lightheaded, you feel a little bit buzzed, and you have that great alkaline feeling, and it's really a game changer with the attitude. But the great thing I like about Wim Hof's method is that he's been breaking a lot of world records, putting the body to the test with this breathing exercise, coupled with a couple of other exercises that he includes in the process of beginning to get your body ready for super things. The second technique I do is activating the second brain. These are teachings of the Tao. At that point, we get off of our laying position, plank position, and we actually get into sitting position with our feet on the ground. And then we go into breathing for 36 breaths. We inhale. You want to hold those elbows high with the hands up. And when you exhale, you want to elongate that spine. When you elongate the spine, you're getting those fluids rushing through the spine. The fluids that give you all the sensitivity. Your backbone is so important to your whole body. So you're waking up the spine and you're actually electrifying the body and you're activating the bio battery, which is the intestine area. And then you're also activating what's called the second brain. So many times when you're in the middle of conversation and you get a funny feeling, you get it in your gut, or you're in the middle of a big deal and you say, "Hey, I like what he's saying, but my gut feeling is I don't want to go through with the deal." Or you say, "Listen, I feel it in my gut. We got to go for it." That's that second brain. And quite often we rely on that part of our thought process even more so than what our head may say. People feel it in their gut and they feel it in that body area. Between that solar plexus and that groin area and that whole area in between, the stomach area, that's the second brain. And we activate that with that breathing. So we do 36 breaths. 1, 2, 3. And at 36, we rub the hands together. We place the right hand behind the cranial pump. And so the cranial pump is just at the base of the cranium, and we place the left hand at the base of the spine, which is the second pump. So the second pump is what you actually sit on. The cranial pump is just at the base of the skull. So you put the right hand on the cranial pump, left hand on the base of the spine. You hold it again for 30 seconds or so, and then you're good. That electrifies that spine. When you electrify the spine with a positive and negative, and you hold it and get the warmth, get those pumps activated, it really gets the spine electrified. And with this, you're supposed to be able to stand 24-story high once you're done. 24 stories high, vertebrae by vertebrae. You're standing up, and they call it standing 24 stories high. So that's an incredible feeling once you have that breathing technique after the Wim Hof technique. Then the next part of the activation of the second brain is the fire breathing. So with fire breathing, we do exhale, inhale quickly, okay? So we want to pull that navel to the spine, and then we want to push the stomach out as far as we can. So you may want to hold your hands about 2 inches away from the stomach so that you could push the stomach out to the hands, and then you suck in that navel to the spine, and again 36 times with the fire breathing. That would be a final exercise. Then I put my hands on my lap. Some may go into the hands with palms up, and we go into meditation at that time. Sometimes when I wake, I feel like meditating right away, and I'll go into meditation before I do my breathing. But usually, I would do the meditation after I breathe. Once I get through with breathing techniques, I go into power poses, but we're not going to teach power poses yet. So I'm going to demonstrate each of the breathing techniques as if I'm going through them. I'm not going to go through the whole technique. So I'm going to breathe a few times in the Wim Hof technique. I'm going to act like I got to breath number 30 or breath number 40. And I'm going to hold my breath, pick up my phone, start the stop clock. Once I cannot hold it anymore on that exhale, I inhale, stop the stop clock, and I count to 15 with the inhale, but I'm pressing that air to the head, neck area, so really putting the pressure in there for 15 seconds. And then after the pressure's done at 15 seconds, I let it out. Okay, so now we're going to go through the Wim Hof method, and I'm going to tell you guys how it happens, what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I'm going to use my hands to actually remind you, stomach, chest, head. Don't do your hands like I'm doing. I'm just explaining stomach, chest, head as you breathe in so that you understand how it goes. And then I'm going to exhale as if I'm on my 30th or 40th breath, and then I'm going to hold that exhale. Start the stopwatch on my trusty cell phone. And then when I can't hold it anymore from that hold of the breath and on the exhale, then I stop the clock and I inhale. Pressure. For 15 seconds, and then I let go. That's one set, okay? So the 30 breaths, 30th, you exhale. When you can't hold it anymore, you inhale. Hold it for 15 seconds, and then exhale. That's set number one. We do 3 sets like that. And then we do them while we're laying on our back. So let's do that right now. Okay? All right. Get comfortable here. So we got everything underway. We have our phone on and we get our clock ready. And remember, this is your morning ritual. So your phone is just there so that you understand that you're getting better at what you do and that you're actually having progress. It's important for you to know that you're having progress when you're doing these types of things. So here we go. All right. 29, 30. Exhale. Hold. Once you can't hold anymore, stop the stopwatch. Inhale. Pressure. $15. Exhale. That's the first set. Second set. 29, 30. Once you can't hold it anymore, stop stopwatch. It's 15 seconds. You have one more set of those, and you're done with that set for Wim Hof. That method right there, the Wim Hof method alone, is going to make you feel euphoric and extremely strong. It wakes you up and changes your mood. Where there's no wind, there's no waves. As far as the beach is concerned, the same for the body. We wake up the waters in the body by introducing wind. The Wim Hof method is a method that has given me the biggest jolt of electricity, the biggest spark, and the biggest euphoric feeling out of all the exercises that I've done. Now, once we're done with Wim Hof's method, we put our feet on the ground and we're in sitting position, usually on the side of our bed. And then we go into the actual activation of the second brain breathing techniques. 1. Now remember, you're elongating the spine, and then you're bringing those elbows up when you inhale, and we're going to do that 36 times. Hey, 35, 36. And then we take a couple of breaths. We feel that spine awake. We rub the hands together. If you wear a wave cap or something that ties around your head, I would suggest you untie the cap so that you can have the circulation moving between the spine and the skull. You warm the hands up, right hand at the base of the skull, left hand at the base of the spine, and you hold the 2 pumps, the cranial pump and the second pump. We hold those for all of 20 to 30 seconds, and then we let that go and we're good. And then we get right into our fire breathing. I like fire breathing because it looks funny, but it actually works. You feel that last jolt of electricity as you really get those waters going. and you're ready to stand 24 stories high. We do 36 breaths with the fire breathing. At this point, I go into meditation. After I do that stand and power pose, or I'll get through with that final fire breathing and I'll go right to the hands on knees and I'll go right into meditation. Sometimes I like to meditate first before I go into breathing, but usually I'll go into meditation right after the fire breathing. Once the meditation is done, then I'll stand. Then I'll stand. And you feel that 24 stories feeling. These exercises together are incredible. Now, I'm also listening to a meditative track by Moodovation. It's the Optimizer. And the Optimizer is at 432 megahertz and 428 megahertz. We have two different versions. That's so the body resonates better with what's being done as far as breathing goes. And there's also meditative affirmations inside of the track that are all about positivity, strength, success, progress, good health. These things are embedded into the track. I also have a version of the track where a lot of the affirmations are actually turned up, but we still have subliminal tracks that give you even that much more support. So, altogether, you have an optimal experience. I'll be leaving the Optimizer meditation on the website so that you can download it and do your meditations to the Optimizer if you choose to. Otherwise, do it to your favorite music or do it to the music of silence, because silence is good. I love the fact that you've joined me. I love meditation and I do love breathing. I want you guys to practice hard and make sure every morning you don't cheat yourself when you really don't want to do the breathing, especially when we're in the middle of any kind of a challenge. You want to do your breathing and give your body that love that you're going to put it in the optimal space that you can. You're acting your way into a new way of thinking at that point, and that's one of the best ways to train the mind, body, and spirit. Thank you for joining me. I want everybody to have a pleasant moment. Raise your vibration. Raise your vibration. And give yourself a mood ovation.